In this video, we're going to be talking about my top photography travel tips. My name is Saili Kline, handle DDS Kline, and I'm here with Dan Bullman.
Yay!
So my first tip would be to do research prior to your trip and find the places that you want to go, how far it is in between, and everything that you may want to do. So that way you can maximize your time and get to see as much stuff as you possibly can in the time that you're in your location. So I first use Google. I kind of get an idea. I read a lot of blogs. And once I find locations, I'll look on Google Images and Instagram and kind of see what kind of photos, different photos opportunities, different angles, and I kind of write notes. I'll put like Vancouver Public Library, and then in parentheses I'll write bring wide angle, and then once I'm there I kind of improvise because sometimes it's not what you expect. I'll always walk. That's another tip, walk everywhere, because you don't know what you're going to find in the way, and you may find the cutest little bookshop. I walk everywhere, so I leave enough time to kind of see things, and if there's something that catches my eye in between, I'll definitely do that. But I do have an idea of what I'm doing throughout the day, so it's a little bit of planning and flexibility, which it depends on where you're going to. So talking to the locals is just incredible. And so just an example, when we went to Cuba, we talked to the locals and how proud they felt to be Cuban, and you can see that in the streets. You can see the Cuban flags, you can see people, you know, saying Somos Cuba, and I think that it inspires photographers to direct their photography because of what people say. Well, I have a photo of Cuba where there's this older man walking through a doorway and the flag says Somos Cuba. That to me just truly captured what everybody says about how they feel about being Cuban. Yeah, it's just, you know, you don't get that sense if you don't talk to people. Gotta wait for the right subjects to walk by.
Yeah.
After I've done my research on Google and Instagram, I'll reach out to photographers that I find either on Instagram that live there or people who I know that have been there. And that's been helpful for me because you get more than just the location perspective. So, you know, when you go to Google, you'll find amazing places to photograph in the location, but when you ask somebody personally, they'll tell you, you know, this place is great for sunset, but not so great for sunrise, or, you know, more specific things that relate to photography. Ask people to take their photos, and, you know, depending on which country you're in, some people are very open to having their photos taken, and it's cool. And, you know, you get that personal feel to the streets. And like when I went to Pike's Place, it's, you know, obviously it's a beautiful location, and I loved it, and I took pictures, but it was almost too busy for my taste, just in the sense that I couldn't really focus on one person. And I'm walking around and I see this guy, and, you know, he was into what he was doing. And he didn't care about me being there. He didn't care about me taking a photo. He didn't care about what was going on around him. He was doing what he was doing. That to me was the moment where I was like, yes, this is Seattle. Like, this is what Seattle is. It's full of artists. It's full of, you know, open-minded people. And to me, that just portrayed that. It's truly made me appreciate other cultures. And it's truly made me appreciate how we all have like so many strengths that if you just learn from other people and you incorporate into yourself, it just makes for better society in general. That's what inspires me mostly to capture a photo, because I want to see that difference when I look back 5 years from now or 10 years from now and remember all those times and remember all those stories with the people that I encountered. And, you know, when people ask me about it, it's a great conversation starter, because somebody will ask you about it and then you get to tell them how wonderful people were. Thank you all for watching. This has been another episode of Dan Bullman Photography. Peace.